Parents, tell me honestly, have you seen this happen? At home, your child solves every sum, answers every question. You feel this exam, my child is going to get full marks. But when mark sheet comes, numbers are lower, not because they didn't know, but because of one minus sign missing, one wrong unit written, or missing one small word. And what do we say? Careless child. But is it really carelessness or is it something deeper? The truth is, silly mistakes are not random. Every silly mistake has a pattern of how your child's mind works under exam pressure. Some rush through, some miss small details, some forget to double check. And if we don't decode this pattern, the same mistakes will keep repeating. Today, we are not here to complain about mistakes. We are here to decode the hidden signals behind them. And more importantly, the 7 powerful mindsets that parents and teachers can use to turn carelessness into carefulness. And trust me, once you understand these patterns and once you know these 7 mindsets, you will never look at silly mistakes the same way again. You will see exactly why marks are slipping and what to do so your child never loses out just because of avoidable errors in exams. So stay with me till the very end, because missing even one mindset could mean your child keep losing marks in the same old way. Remember, a silly mistake is not the end, it's the beginning of mindful learning. So let's dive in. So today's burning question is, parents, your child studies hard, knows every answer, but in the exam hall, silly mistakes eat up their marks. Sounds familiar? Why does this keep happening? And more importantly, how do we stop it? Every parent has the same sigh. You know what really hurts? Marks don't slip because the child doesn't know the answer. It is not the matter. They slip because of small things. Like in maths, the child wrote 50 instead of 50 centimeter. Unit missing, marks gone. Or while copying from the question, instead of 387, they wrote 378. One number swapped, the whole sum goes wrong. Or in English, the question asked was write 2 reasons, but in hurry, child wrote only 1. Parents say careless. My child is very careless. Teachers say avoidable mistake. You could have avoided. Be more careful. But for the child, what is there? It feels like a big failure. Dear parents and teachers, welcome to today's podcast. I'm Surabhi, your brain's best friend. I'm a cognitive coach with Brighter Minds and a mind trainer. And with me is my favorite thought partner, educator and India's leading IB leader, Mrs. Rama Shinde. Rama ma'am, most welcome.
Thank you, Surabhi ma'am. And exactly, ma'am, today, let's decode this properly. Why do silly mistakes happen? More importantly, how can parents and teachers, help children build the right habit and mindset to stop them? See, most of the parents think, the silly mistakes mean the child is lazy, careless, not serious. Surabhi ma'am, the research tells us a very different story, and these mistakes are often about stress, rushing, too many steps to remember, or simply untrained habits. So let's, instead of blaming, if we learn to see the pattern behind every silly mistakes, we can actually guide children to become more careful, mindful, and confident.
Yeah.
Do you agree?
Yeah. And parents, let's think about it. Silly mistakes don't just drop from the sky. They happen for a reason. And if we look closely, each mistake tells us a story about what's going on in your child's mind.
Yes. So let's start with the first story, Surabhi ma'am. It's like cognitive overload. Imagine your child is solving 5 steps maths problem. Step number 1, step number 2, step number 3. But by the time, they reach to the step number 4, the first step has already slipped out of the memory. Okay. And end result is wrong answer, even though they knew it.
Yeah, yeah. Exactly. In long division, they know the method. But while carrying the numbers, right, they drop one. Parents call it careless. But the truth, their brain was juggling too much at once, isn't it?
Yes. And when the brain is overloaded, ma'am, children start to rush. They skip the question, assume the rest, and move on.
Yeah. And one parent told me the question said underlying nouns. The child underlined adjectives. Why? Because they only read half the question. Brain was in fast forward mode. So instead of writing underlining nouns, he underlined the adjectives.
Exactly. And you know what drives? I call it as a fast forward mode because the stress under exam pressure, the brain says, forget accuracy, just finish.
So true.
Yeah.
So true. And how many times do we hear kids saying, Mama, ma'am, I know the answer, but in exam, my mind went blank. That's stress hijacking the brain's working memory. Because of, they have to do everything in speed. They think time is less. Let me finish everything fast.
Very true, ma'am. And now when the stress is high, another thing goes missing, self-checking. Okay. Most of the kids finish writing immediately and hand over the paper. No pause, no review at all.
Yeah, exactly. So, like writing 24 instead of 42. If they had checked once, they would have caught it. They know it. But checking isn't a habit, While practicing at home, they don't recheck. They just finish the syllabus faster.
Yeah. And that connects to low metacognition, ma'am. Okay. The children don't stop and ask, does this make sense?
Yeah. And one child wrote, Rama ma'am, 5,000 rupees is equal to 50 paise. If only they had paused to ask themselves once, is this logical? Does it make sense? They would have corrected it, but in hurry burry it happens.
Yeah. And then comes, the careless transfer, copying a number, a date, or a formula wrongly from the question to the answer.
So in our last webinar, someone was saying no, writing terrorism instead of tourism, right? So that 12th fail movie, that child did it. So yeah, that's true, and it happens in all the age groups. It's not that it happens only with smaller children. It happens in all the age groups. And yes, like writing HO2 instead of H2O in Haribari, just one tiny slip, but it changes the whole answer, Rama ma'am.
Yeah. And sometimes the opposite problem shows up, overconfidence.
Yeah.
Okay. It's thing. This is easy. Okay. No need to check.
Yeah. I know what is the need to check. Yes, ma'am. And parents will agree the easiest sums are often where mistakes happen. Confidence makes them blind to slip. It just slips from their mind.
Yeah. And at the same time, there is fatigue. Okay. Towards the end of the exam paper, the energy drops down because it's a 3 hours paper, ma'am. And the errors rise. So many times, question at the end suffer.
Exactly, ma'am. I agree. Just like parents after a long day at work, signing a check wrongly or forgetting salt in the dinner, not lack of ability, just tiredness. Isn't it?
Yeah. Yes. Another big culprit is, ma'am, disorganization. Messy handwriting or steps all over the place. Okay. Like, take an example, 7 looks like 1 and the teacher marks it wrong.
Yeah. And parents often tell me he wrote the right thing, but teacher couldn't read it. It was not readable. So of course, that's not the knowledge problem. It's the clarity missing, right?
Yeah. And finally, something many parents forget. developmental factors.
Yeah.
The children's executive function and impulsive control are still maturing. So the mistakes are part of the journey, and we need to keep a focus right in the childhood itself, man.
Yeah, beautiful point, Rama ma'am. And parents hear this. When you're 10 years old, make silly mistakes, it's not always bad habits. Sometimes it's just a young brain still learning to manage itself, right?
So in the end, ma'am, silly mistakes are not random. Okay, they reveal a pattern. That is what I had always seen, and we used to discuss as a group of teachers.
Yes, of course. And once we decode that pattern, parents, we don't just stop silly mistakes, we build children who think better, learn better, and perform with confidence.
Yeah. So imagine a child solving, 23 plus 47. Okay. He knows the answer is going to be 70. Okay. But under exam pressure, he writes 73. Now, here the knowledge is right, but the pen, betrayed the brain.
Yeah. So the truth is, silly mistakes are not about intelligence. Don't think that my child is not intelligent, careless. They are about mindset, habits, and brain's working memory. These three important things. So parents, tell me one thing. Your child spends nights preparing. Exam day comes, they feel confident. You also feel confident about them. But the result day, 6 marks lost to silly mistakes. How do you feel?
Really, ma'am, it's painful, because the child deserves better. Okay. And for the child, he feels or she feels worse. They studied, they worked, but still feel failure.
Yeah, very true. And teachers too, teaching the same steps time 10 times, and you still see careless mistake. So frustration builds up.
Yeah. And Surbhi ma'am, that the real danger is where, when silly mistakes repeat. Okay, the repetition is there in that pattern, and the children lose confidence.
Yeah.
They begin to say, I'm careless. Okay, I'm unlucky. Okay, and this label stick, and slowly they stop trying.
And sometimes parents in frustration, we compare. See, your cousin never makes such mistakes. That comparison burns.
Yeah. And that is why we must not just point at the mistakes, but understand them. Otherwise, the silly mistakes will cost not only the marks, but also the motivation.
Very true, ma'am. Very true. And parents and teachers, do you feel that knot in your chest? Write yes in the comment if you do. And we do understand that helplessness, because me and Rama ma'am, we are also parents. And that's exactly why today's solutions matter. Rama ma'am, parents keep asking me, if silly mistakes are not about intelligence, then how do we actually train children to avoid them? How to train their minds? I mean, of course, Brighter Minds training program is there. We run cognitive training programs. We work on their concentration, observation, intuition, decision making. But is there anything which parents can do at home? That is the question that I get.
A very good question, ma'am. And the answer is not more tuitions or more homework. Okay. The children don't need more content. Okay. They need a better habits of mind. Okay. And that is where, the 7 powerful mindsets come in. So I would definitely love, so to let us walk through them. Okay. Like small stories that connect one another. First one is like, growth mindset towards mistakes. Okay. So the first step is to change how the children see mistakes. Many children hide their errors, okay, because they feel ashamed of it. I remembered a boy who would fold his notebook page whenever he used to get something wrong. We saw that, I told him, do you know that Sachin Tendulkar's practice net, okay, nets were full of mistakes. That's why he became master. slowly, this child stopped hiding and began circling his errors with pride.
Yeah, that's powerful, ma'am. That's powerful. And parents, instead of saying careless, when your child makes a mistake, you can say, great, we just found your practice point. And once a child learns to accept mistakes, then comes the next step, slowly working on it, slowly being more mindful. But this positive association with mistakes, positive association of mind, positive association of heart with their mistakes is super important. They should not feel that they have done something wrong. Everyone makes mistakes, and that is how this beautiful thought process needs to be developed.
Yeah, very true, Surabhi ma'am. So, the second point, which is very important, is, mindfulness mistakes. Okay. So, mindfulness mindset, actually, So, mindfulness means, being present with the question in front of you. So, I tell children, many a times, like, read the exam question like you read your friend's WhatsApp message. This is only for the middle school and the secondary level children, okay?
Yeah.
Keep a and the children resonate so well with this, Surabhi ma'am, with this
Yeah.
tip.
That's so true, so true. And parents, you can model this. For example, while cooking, read the recipe twice and say aloud, I double checked. So you won't miss the salt. When children watch you, they learn the habit of mindfulness. And once they are mindful, they know that everyone makes the mistakes. The next step is learning to check their own thinking. It's
Correct.
very important.
Yeah. So, ma'am, so this is like, a silent reminder to the children, through the actions of the parents, correct?
Yeah.
Third one, which, I would like to bring it over here is, thinking about thinking, and that is called metacognition mindset.
Yeah.
Okay. So, here it is called metacognition in brain science. It's like simply asking yourself, does this make sense? Okay. So, I once had a student, to write, the sun rises in the west. And I asked him gently, does this look right? He paused, laughed, and fixed it itself. Self-checking saved him.
Yeah, that's the beauty of self-talk. Teachers can build this too. Check your work. Does your answer fit the question? Even parents can do that. And when children practice self-checking, they also realize accuracy matters more than racing ahead. Which brings us the fourth mindset, ma'am. What is more important, speed or your final work?
So, accuracy over speed mindset. So, children think that speed means smartness. Okay. But in examiners don't give marks for speed. Okay. They give for accuracy. And, my mantra for is that fast is fine, but accurate is final.
Very beautiful. Fast is fine, but accurate is final. You are going to get marks for being accurate, for not being very fast, right? So parents imagine cooking super fast, but forgetting the salt, So no one claps for speed, right? Same in exams. Accuracy matters more. And of course, when stress comes in, accuracy often slips. That's where the next mindset becomes very, very important for us to train our children.
Yeah. So exam, resilient mindset.
Yeah.
Stress makes the brain rush. Recall a girl who, it is like pain. It was like, ma'am, pain, I mean to say pain, lot of pain was there, and an exam left half her paper blank. And we thought this girl is we taught her a simple routine. Okay, what was the routine given it to her? Ma'am, pause, breathe, plan. Okay? And next exam, Can you imagine? She finished calmly and silly mistakes dropped by half.
Yeah.
Hmm?
Yeah. So basically, teaching them these calming techniques, even if
Yes.
children are, having some pain or something, but when they, just pause, calm down, because sometimes these butterflies are because of stress, And parents, you can support this at home. Before exam day, say with your child, calm down, stay careful, stay correct, You can include relaxation techniques. A very simple mantra builds this emotional safety. And when children are calmer, they can notice small details that often slip through. So please include heartfulness techniques in your lifestyle. In Brighter Minds, we are doing the same thing because we are building mindset of being calm, composed, stable, balanced, so that children develop their inner environment so strong that no matter what happens outside, they are strong enough to deal with it. So in Brighter Minds, we are especially working on this, not only for children, but for teens, for youth, and also for adults. And Rama ma'am, what we realized, in every age group, we need this. Working on inner environment is the need of the hour. How to stay calm in chaos, how to build that resilience. Sometimes you may be stressed, sometimes you may be in hurry, right? You are, having lesser time, 3 hours time, you spend more time in one of the parts, and then you are rushing through. Even then, if you are able to keep your calm, right, then many things become better. Rama ma'am?
So, ma'am, detail oriented mindset. This is what I call it, detail oriented mindset. So, of course, the Brighter Minds, okay, for the children is their biggest support, and it is the biggest gift also. I must say that, okay. So, if your child has not done it yet, go with it for sure. Remember, details matter. Decimal, diagram, a unit. It has changed everything. Okay. For example, 100 rupees bill can look like 1000 when one misplaced zero.
Yeah, or imagine booking a train ticket for 2 a.m. instead of 2 p.m. I have done it myself. So that's a long, chilly night at the station. That was really bad. And when children understand that details matter in life, not just exams, they start paying more attention. And when they start paying more attention, the final step is helping them take ownership of their mistakes. So this attention to details, how it comes, very important quality, observation and interest. And my global guide, Dr. Kamlesh D. Patel, he keeps on talking about it. Two things is missing nowadays, Rama ma'am, because of overstimulation due to screens, so many distractions in today's life. So today's ecosystem is completely different for our children. That the same ecosystem we were not having in our childhood. It is completely different, and we have couple of videos also made on this. Parents, you can watch on our YouTube channel, because we need to understand what has changed and why we need to include all this. Because I get parents who say we are fine, right? We never did all that, but we are fine, we are doing things. But now the situation has changed, the ecosystem, atmosphere, overall the system has changed. That's why these techniques are super important for our children. Why? Because n number of distractions, and if you are not working on their stability of mind, how they can channelize their energy, even the very intelligent child can be distracted. More intelligent the child is, there is more scope of getting distracted here and there. Rama ma'am?
Yeah, I agree with you, Surbhi ma'am. So exactly what you are pinpointing, and for the today's generation, I agree with you. And the next step which I would like to give you, Surbhi ma'am, will be accountability mindset.
Yeah.
So the children must own mistakes, okay, not blame teachers or luck. I ask them to keep an error log book, error log book, or one page where you can keep writing about your error logs. So one boy once wrote, I forgot to add units in 3 questions. Next exam, he underlined every unit and his marks improved instantly.
Yeah. So this error log will make them more aware because they are journaling, they are writing. So mind will,
Correct.
understand that, okay, this was the mistake in last exam. Now you improve on it. Very
Mm.
right. And parents, instead of saying, teacher, cut your marks,
Mm.
ask
Mm.
where can you improve next time?
Yeah. Mm.
Ownership turns into mistakes. Whenever you are turning ownership, into mistakes and, understanding things and then growing, then it
Mm.
makes the difference. And this mindset connects beautifully with what we do in IB schools. Rama ma'am, we were talking the other day, right?
Yeah, Subhi ma'am. So, this IB schools practices is like, making it real. They what they bring into the life is like, we use reflection journals in IB schools. Formative feedback is given by the teachers and safe spaces for errors.
Mhm.
Children just don't solve, okay? They reflect, they self-assess, and they grow, ma'am.
Yeah. And even I realized in CBSE and ICSE also now we are using rubrics,
Correct,
and
correct.
if parents also just go through
Mm.
this rubrics form, and you can understand where all they write things that, okay, I understood this, I could not understand this, I made mistake here. And parents can try the same at home,
Mm.
create
Mm.
reflection time, ask what was your biggest learning today, celebrate effort, not just scores. Slowly,
Mm.
children stop fearing their mistakes, and this is super critical for us as parents because nobody else is going to do this for your
Mm.
child. Only
Mm.
you can do this. Create
Mm.
that positive association of your
Mm.
child's heart and mind with their mistakes so that they
Mm.
feel good about it. Okay, I made mistakes, so what? I learn, right? So the other day, Rama ma'am, I was telling my son, it's
Mhm.
okay to make every mistake once or twice because
Yeah.
every mistake is a beautiful teacher. Learn, move ahead, right?
Yeah. Yeah. And this is like what you said is very important, Surbhi ma'am, that discussion from the parents' side, from the teacher's side is very important rather than just focusing only on the marks and the results.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
parents, yeah, very important. And parents, silly mistakes are not silly. They are
Mm.
signals, right? We understood. Signals of overload, rushing, stress,
Mm.
or habits that need training. Hmm?
Yeah. And these seven mindsets which we have spoken, like growth, okay, mindfulness, metacognition. Then we spoke about accuracy, resilience, detailing, right, and accountability.
Accountability, yeah.
The children can truly get transformed.
Yeah. These seven are like seven pillars of mindset. So next
Mm.
time, don't call your child careless. Call them
Mm.
a careful learner in progress,
Mm.
progressing, right?
Yeah, because every mistake is not the end. It is the beginning of mindful learning.
Yeah. They teach us something. Very right.
Yeah.
Yes, Rama ma'am. And yeah, it's super important to understand this pattern for your child where all it is happening. So all
Mm.
these particular things that we spoke about will of course help you. And if you have any questions related to this, I think
Mm.
we should now open the forum, ma'am.
Absolutely
Questions?
correct, ma'am. We can keep the forum open for parents or the teachers to ask us because this is a regular practice where we want the audience to express openly with us.
Yes. So if you have anything in mind, please feel free to share.
Mm.
So Arun Kumar Muleji is asking, can you please repeat seven mindsets?
Okay, so you want me to repeat or
I
Surbhi ma'am?
think no,
Yeah.
I think you can repeat, ma'am.
Yeah. So we said about the seven, habits which, as a parents as well as teachers, you should remember in your mind as well as when you are developing your own children. So first is that the growth mindset. Hmm?
Hmm.
Even a wonderful example about growth mindset to you. Mindfulness is the another one. Then the metacognition. Metacognition means thinking of thinking. Okay, thinking about thinking.
Mm.
Fourth one is accuracy. Okay, making sure that your child. We don't want perfectionist, but we want to aim for it. Okay, so accuracy. then the resilience, which is very important, and then always developing a habit of detailing. And last but not the least, accountability, not blaming others for anything. Okay, you have to own it, right?
Yeah.
That mindset, if you develop it, we are making the children ready for the life exam, not only the school exam and getting marks, right?
And yeah, very right. And the other day in last webinar, Sri Shailesh Varuji was also speaking about it. When the child is writing, I did not do. Suppose, he asks everyone to write down every day, what did you do? Suppose, child had to do one chapter and child did not do. So he should not write, I could not do. He should write, I did not do. That gives accountability that I did not do it. And when 3-4 days your child will write, I did not do. So somewhere that goes in the mindset, that I did not do intentionally, so let me give it a try. So Rama ma'am, this particular webinar and last webinar also, it was on exams only, and because exams are going to start for our children, so please watch this and share with others. I am sharing this YouTube channel detail. If you have not subscribed yet, you can subscribe to it and just listen to it. And if you need any clarification anywhere, if you want to ask anything anywhere, please feel free, because many parents come to me, Rama ma'am, my child knows everything, but while writing exam marks are reduced to half. I don't know how, so these are different reasons. I'm also sending WhatsApp group detail, because we have a group of parents. If you are not there yet, please join it. And basically in this group we keep sharing things, and also you can talk to us. Me and Rama ma'am, both of us are there. You can send us message. Even I am sharing my number here.
Yeah, that will really help, because some of the parents are quite hesitant to express it, in a public. They may have certain queries particular to the child. So you please mention your number, and then you can ask them to send you the message first, so that you can fix up a time to talk to them.
Yeah, sure. So one more question Arunji has asked. How memory techniques help? They are very helpful, Arunji, and this is helpful for all age groups. And Rama ma'am, I keep meeting people, and believe me, every day almost 7 to 8 people tell me, especially adults, that my memory is declining now. I used to remember things, but now I am not able to. One person I met today, and he was sharing, I used to have photographic memory. I will, see things once and I will be, able to talk about it. But now it is declining. What is the reason? So for adults, all the factors that are contributing in our lifestyle. Age is one factor, but basically overstimulation through devices. So sometimes we feel that, hey, my child doesn't use mobile. But screen time is not only mobile, laptop, TV, tab, everything is a screen time. And overstimulation of mind is there with all these things. And how the sleep quality is, how much exercises we are doing for brain and mind. I don't think, if we have done Brighter Minds, if we have gone through, maybe. But I have not seen people being aware about what exercises are to be done for brain and mind. We know what is to be done for, doing this bicep. We know what is to be done for tucking your tummy. Thanks to yoga and these gym exercises, we are aware about our physical body. But we never think about this brain and mind. This poor brain and mind nowadays keep working even in sleep, Rama ma'am. So it's super important to include those exercises and interventions which can help your brain and mind. Sorry. Because if you are not helping your brain and mind, and it is working 24 hours, you can understand what will happen, right? It needs relaxation. It needs these techniques. That's why I keep repeating time and again that these techniques are not optional anymore. Everyone should do it for cognitive wellness, because mind wellness of the mind, wellness of the brain, both are super important. That is why, Arunji, these techniques are super helpful. all these brain techniques, brain exercises, memory techniques, creativity, novelty, sensory training, all these aspects which are called multimodal cognitive training, brain training, mind training, they are super important in today's lifestyle, Rama ma'am.
At an early age, if you introduce these things to the child, okay, or as a family you start practicing it really brings a wonderful change or the transformation in overall personality also.
Yes, and it's very important investment in your child's journey of
Yeah.
growth. It's very important investment on your mind and your brain. It's like it. It's super important to give education to your child. Now the second thing apart from education, this particular mind training is also super important, because in education we are giving all the inputs, but then how to process. That is also very important, very critical point nowadays. Because Rama ma'am, because of simple reason, now our child's mind or our own mind is being trained by n number of people. Whatever content we are watching, whatever we are talking, whatever environment we are in, everything is impacting, isn't it?
Yeah, small things, and especially at growing age group level, a small thing, whatever the children come across, has a long lasting impact on them. So introducing something which can be a long lasting impact on the child's life is very important. That's therefore, I strongly recommend Brighter Minds, program, because it is, time tested, it is research based, right? The similar way how I said about the IB practices also, ma'am. Even most of the boards, whatever they're bringing it into the life of the children, it's for long-lasting impacts.
Yeah, very true, very true. And one more thing I have realized over the period of time, for children, every age group has some need. If we are not working on that particular aspect in that particular age, and child grows up, then you cannot go back and work on it.
There's no reverse gear, ma'am, for that. There is no reverse.
Right? So if you have to develop problem solving ability at the age of 8, we are not aware, right? As parents, we are hardly aware that needs to be done. But it is super important to work on it. Otherwise, after time just flies, and then you think, I could have done that, I should have done that. It doesn't work.
Once the train is gone, ma'am, it's you missed it, kind of a thing.
Yeah. So please feel free to ask any question that you might have in your mind. You can connect back to us later as well. So I think time is over also, ma'am. And I think we are done with this. And yes, these videos will be available. We have made more videos for exams. And if you have any questions related to this, please connect back to us. Send us message. Thank you for joining. Thank you, Rama ma'am. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am. Good day.